Good evening, guys. It's a lovely day here in the UK in London, and this is number 4 in the digital car modification series, which is graphics and textures and a bit of this and that. Okay, so what we're going to teach you is how to put decals, graphics on the car, different methods to put it actually on the vehicle to look like it's stuck on the car and not just literally, taking a picture and just whacking it in the image. How to make it follow the contours, how to transform it, how to move it around, and the different overlay options that you have within Photoshop to make it look different every time. So I've got here an image of a Porsche Carrera GT. Okay, first thing we need to do, guys, is, as always, make a copy of our image by right clicking duplicate layer or Control J on the keyboard and put in decals. Okay, and like I said, it's going to be decals and textures, etc. Okay, now the cool thing about Photoshop is it allows you to add any texture that you can find on the internet, whether it be a texture of wood, paper, carpet, metal, concrete, you name it, any texture possible you can add to your car, and it gives it a weird sort of unique type of effect. Okay, so as an example here, what we're going to do is we're going to open up a texture which I downloaded off Google Images. Okay, here, which is a piece of paper crumpled. It's very random, but it's just as a demonstration as to what kind of thing you can do and how to do it within Photoshop. Okay, so what we need to do is, once you've opened this, you need to hit Control and A on your keyboard, which basically is select all. Okay, then you're going to hit Control C, which is copy, so you can do edit copy, but that's Control C. Go to your original image here and press Control V, and that's paste, or you can go to edit and paste. Okay, it does the same thing. And here we're going to rename paper texture. Okay, so what we're going to do is we want to add this paper texture to the actual paint, to the Porsche itself. Okay, so if I just hide the icon here of the paper, we're going to add it to the paintwork of the Porsche. Now, to do this, what we'll need to do, select the paper texture, hit Control T on your keyboard, which is the transform option. Okay, and holding Alt, just go into the corner and rescale it down. If you hold Alt, that means you're rescaling in the right form. Okay, if like you press if you don't press Alt, it's a free selection that you're doing, so it's free transforming, it's not going to keep to scale. But if you hold down Alt, it will, as you can see, transform everything. Rotate it so it covers the car itself. Okay, and like I said in previous tutorials, you could either mask before or after, it doesn't matter. Now here over in the layers palette, change the opacity to something like maybe 2018. Okay, hit enter, and that's it, and then you've got this texture literally on your car. So what you need to do now is a case of what we've done before. Hit E on your keyboard, get your eraser tool, and just erase what you don't want on the car. Okay, so once you do this, and like I said, you can use your eraser tool. You can even like we talked about before in previous tutorials, you can use the selection tools as so to remove the areas that you don't want that texture to be applied to. Okay, so I'm just going to do this roughly because I did do a example which I'm going to show you now, which I finished before, just to save a bit of time. Okay, but this is the kind of thing that we're going to be doing. Just hit delete, and as you can see, if I put the opacity up, it cuts that out. So basically what you want to do, guys, you want to do that for the whole image of the areas that you don't want this texture to be, which is, this black spot here, this handle here, the tires, the grills. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to have something that looks like this. Okay, so let me put the opacity up. Okay, and I've done this before. Now I know it looks a bit random, okay, but if I put the opacity down, you can see it gives it this quite cool sort of textured, coloured effect. And like I said, you can do this with any texture, and not only that, you can go to image adjustments, desaturate, which gives it this silver crumpled look, which is slightly different, and again play around with the opacity to get different effects. We can take away the desaturation, which we've done before. Okay, and then we can just go to, like we did in the paint tutorial, image adjustment, hue saturation, select the yellows, click on it, reduce the saturation down. As you can see, it's removed all the colour, so you can put the saturation back down to 0, and then just play around with the hue and saturation, and you have this cool paint effect, but with a sort of crumpled type texture on the car. Okay, and like I said, it doesn't have to be a paper texture, it could be any texture you want, carbon fiber, concrete, metal, anything whatsoever, guys. Okay, so that's how to do that. What you also can do before we go, okay, is we can go to overlay mode, okay, and as you can see, it kind of blends it into the bodywork. If you put the opacity up, it actually takes into account the contours of the car, to give it that metallic sort of shine as well. So just play around with these modes. I'm not going to go into all of them, but as you can see, they all add different sort of images and effects to your paint. So, you know, get something new, just play around with these and have fun. Okay, right, let me get rid of this. No. Okay, Control D. Just going to delete this paper texture, and that's basically texture. So to put decals on your car now, what I'm going to do, let me just close this off. I'm going to open a few decals like I've got here, which I literally downloaded off Google Images. Okay, press Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and then Control V in this window to paste. And here you can put A back, just so you know which decal it is. Now, the best thing to do when you do decals is try and get a decal like this, black and white, because then we can use the magic wand tool here, okay, which is the magic wand tool, and select the white, hold down shift and select all the white within the letters, because it won't select that as default, it's only going to select the white outside. Okay, so if you do this as so, hit delete, press Control D to deselect, and as you can see, we've got a perfect Ebac Springs decal. Okay, and what we can do is we can just hit Control T to transform, hold down Control, and then what you can do is it allows you to swing things round to the side, as you can see. And then, I mean, it's not going to look great, but just to show you what we can do, we can go to overlay, and then as you can see, because it's obviously got a reflection on the car, it's going to take that into account. So when we do it, you know, over here maybe, it's gonna actually stand out because there's shadows. Okay, so bear that in mind. But that's how basically you put decals onto cars. Okay, Control T and rotate this. I want to show you another cool sort of tool as well. I'm just going to scale this down, holding down again the Alt key so it scales in proportion, which is the word I was looking for before. Hit enter. See, that looks pretty cool, but what we want to do is we want to try and make it look like so it's actually on the actual you know, bumper itself. So if you right click in the Control T when you're in free transform mode and go to warp, this allows you to kind of lift up edges and melt things into the body. Okay, and it just gives you that extra illusion that things are actually on the car itself. So that looks pretty good. You see it now, it looks like it's actually stuck on the car itself. And again, you can do it for windscreen decals. You'll just obviously free transform the other way. You can do your little what they call shopping list, where you have it down here on the side, all as a list. The possibilities are endless. Okay, now just quickly, that's basically decals as well, and that applies for whatever way you do it. Okay, I'm just going to quickly open a file here as well, and I've got this anim picture. Again, Control A, C, and then Control V to paste, Control T to go into this free transform mode, scale it down, okay, and I'm going to just rotate it. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to do this quite quick. And we're going to add this decal. Now you can use any type of picture, but obviously the effect that you're going to have to put on it will differ depending on what image you have and what color the car is. Okay, so if I hit enter there and go to overlay, as you can see, it prints on the car. And then what you can do is you can erase the actual parts that you don't want showing, which obviously here is on the actual wheels. I'm just going to do it quickly, guys, because we're running out of time. I know it's a bit of a mess, but this is basic technique on how to do it. And obviously just rewind the tutorial if you're not 100% sure and you've missed something, and that's pretty much how to add it onto a car. So, you know, enjoy. I'm sorry I'm rushed, but you know, if you want any more details, please email me, leave comments, and I'll help you as soon as I get your messages, and I'll do my best to reply to them. Okay, so that's the basics of it. You know, if you do, like I said, it is quite rushed, but we've only got 10 minutes, so if you need any more help, don't hesitate to contact me, and I'll do my best to help you. Okay, thanks for your time, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.